You know I love you, baby. Don't let me down. Not today. Well, today we're going to plug a computer in Ben's truck and do a bunch of tidying up on some things, get the vitals screwed down, and see what we got. And also, I think we need to change the springs again in Brandon's truck for ride height.
Yep, we're going to change out the springs because it's not low enough for him. Well, one of the most important things is, this is one of those will it run videos. You know, you see them all over the YouTube and you know, will it run? It's been parked for 50 years. This one feels like it's been parked here for 50 years. And we're going to do a will it run video today. Will it run? We're going to put the computer in and we are going to try and fire this girl today. And we're going to keep our fingers crossed like crazy that this actually goes off, because our 2-week time frame is already 25% gone. And we want this to bend so he can cruise it around, and we want it out of our hair so we can deal with some other stuff. So,
Maybe some cartwheels.
I tell you what, this girl fires, you're going to see dancing, you're going to see partying, you're going to see cartwheels, jumping jacks, and backflips.
Whoa.
I promise you, if this fires today, I will do a backflip. You don't think this fat old man can do it? You watch and see. Anyway, we're glad you guys showed up today. Let's see if this thing will fire.
Morning, everybody. Odd Rod Garage here, and today we got all kinds of other stuff to do. On Ben's truck, our calipers should be in, our flex hoses should be in, and obviously front brake pads. We've already done, we already repacked the wheel bearings. All the ball joints, everything on this side is tight. So again, we're just waiting for hydraulic brake stuff. Passenger side is yet to come. I'll show you that a little bit later. Actually, I wanted to give you an overview of what I did on Ben's truck yesterday. Unfortunately, I'm sorry guys, I didn't do a lot of recording yesterday. I was so focused on getting some stuff done, but that doesn't help you guys out. And but what I want to do today was, I know that Pete wants to do the seat cover in Ben's truck, and the seat cover that's currently on it's pretty yucky. So I'm gonna drag you guys out there with me, and you'll endure the sunshine with me, and we're gonna strip the old stuff off. That way we have a bare seat frame to put the new stuff on. So hold on. All right guys, so this is the top cushion of his seat. It obviously has some pretty fancy blanket tree. Anyway, we need to cut this off, and then we're gonna go get the bottom seat and bring it over and cut that off also. It's trash day, so why not do all of it all at once, right? So let's see how easy this stuff wants to come off. Like I said, we have some brake stuff coming and all that, and it's relatively early in the morning right now. That's the only way you survive in Arizona in the summertime, is to get out moving early. Figured, you know, I got some downtime. Let's go ahead and get kind of ahead of the game a little bit on this stuff here. You don't want to be hacking this up during the day, or in the sunshine rather. And it's pretty funky. I didn't tell Ben, but we'd found a dead rat in there in his truck when we initially had taken it apart. And yes, I could use a razor blade, which I have right here, but I'm finding that scissors are actually working better on this stuff here. Okay, so there's that. And again, I'm not mocking Ben at all. I've done the same thing. Nice interiors are expensive, and when I had to do mine, I was still young in the game. So let's go ahead and turn this guy around. Turn around. Yes, it's song day today. Ew. I wonder if we shouldn't try to bang some of that out. When you're working on old stuff, you always run across some oddities. Sometimes you're ultra clean inside, and then sometimes you have rats, and sometimes you have mice. Okay, that looks pretty sanitary. Clean this up real quick, and then we'll go get the bottom cushion. This is Ben's bottom cushion here. Obviously, it's pretty neat. So, it's a quick story. Here in the Southwest, especially Arizona, we have a type of cactus called cholla. It's some nasty stuff, dude. It's like imagine like a fuzzball, about like that, with thorns on it that long. And Typically, you get it in your pant leg or something, first thing you do is you grab it and you're like, duel, because now it's stuck in your hand. And we also have saguaro out here. So, if you're in Arizona, you really got to watch. Rats love that stuff. Mice love that stuff. They make like a protective fort with it. Anyway, so you got to watch digging around with that stuff. You might get it in your fingers. I'll start cutting here. I know a real man would reach in there, right? Well, seat's cut in half. It's not cool. You got some change. It's like some, I don't know, like an old potato sack kind of material. We're getting there. It's never ending. So these are called hog rings. I don't know if you've ever seen them before. The pliers for them are really cool looking. They're round like a jaw. But inside that jaw, it's like got a groove where a ring would sit in it, and then you just crimp them together. It's actually kind of a neat apparatus. Once we get all this off, we'll see what kind of condition the seat's actually in. Obviously, it needs some help here. That's not that big of a thing, though. All right, guys, almost there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut the excess off. That way, I can play with it a little bit more without digging around too much. Seat cover extraction complete. Okay, so Pete went ahead and bought the rubber for this is for Ben's truck. We already bought the tires for it, and these are the like Chevy rally wheels, I guess you could say. Center caps and beauty rings. So anyway, we painted the inside and the inside of the wheel. Now I gotta flip them over, do the face, that way they can cure, and then that way it's ready for the tire shop. I guess there's still some conjecture as to what color. I know from the factory these would have been like a silver, but sometimes it's almost a little too much, you know? So we kept it with black. It's all sealed up. If you wanted to change the color, at least there's a good base on there, right? So we're gonna go and flip these guys over. I want to blow them off, just make sure there's no dirt, and then we'll shoot those. Alright guys, watch your ears. I'm going to blow the concrete off, blow the wheels off, and then it's ready to shoot those. Shoot them. Watch your ears. Looks like there's still some media in there, so let's see if we can get it to come out. One more time, Z's. Like we said before, you know, just a couple of fog layers, and then you shoot it for real. All right, we're going to go ahead and let those set up for a minute, and then we'll shoot them again. All right, guys. All right. This is code number 2. They're tacky enough. We're going to go ahead and shoot them. This will be the 3rd time, and this is going to be our final coat. Okay. Well, we'll let those, we'll let them tack up a little bit, and then I'm going to move and kind of tuck them over there to Brandon's, give me some room here. But, anyway, that's off to a pretty good start. Okay, guys. So, contrary to popular belief, you can actually bleed a brake system yourself, excepting the final one where you want actually pressure on it, and then somebody has to open the bleeder. Me personally, I do this a lot by myself. So what I want to do is I want to get fluid at least to the wheels. This girl is not bench bled, but as you can see, it's already starting to take fluid. These were both up, you know, with fluid. And if it doesn't do that, it's no biggie. Go inside. You don't need to push the pedal a bunch, and you don't want to be real vigorous about it because it splashes it everywhere. And brake fluid's really acidic to paint. It kills paint pretty bad. So what I do is, now that she's starting to take fluid, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to watch the wheels. Once I start seeing fluid at the wheels, then I'll go ahead and tighten that circuit up, and then theoretically there will be somewhat brakes. And then when Pete gets here, I'll I'll have him help me bleed him for real. Anyway, oh look at that. We already have fluid coming out. Ew, got stuff coming out, Lance. Alright. You see how the bubbles are coming out? That girl will almost bleed itself. So we're gonna let it fumble and bumble there a little bit for a couple minutes. Make sure you don't come up dry in your master cylinder. But then theoretically the front brakes are just about done. Everything's tight and all that. We'll just need to do a final bleed. Then we'll tighten that up. We'll go ahead and top our master cylinder off, and then we're gonna finish up the. I'll show you the fuel system and finish that up, and then gotta get some gas, good old gas, and try to start this girl. All right, how are we doing over here? Making a mess. Making a mess. That's what you're doing, Timmy. Okay, guys. So, two fronts in the mid brake line in the back. Got fluid there. We're generating pressure. It looks good. Nothing's leaking. That's a plus. So we're going to go ahead and put the right front wheel back on here. Then I need to finish up the fuel system. I show what I'm doing there. Also need to rewire the relay. I don't trust exactly what it's doing, so I'm going to go with what I know what works, and it'll be great. Hey, hey, hey. There it is.
All right, this is a really good sign. We are going to attempt something here in a few minutes that we have been hoping for a long time. Our fingers are crossed, our toes are crossed. Let's see what happens. This is non-scripted, obviously, because we're very bad at it. This is our first attempt at firing up Ben's truck. We don't have the right computer in it. We have a computer from a 6-liter. They say the injectors are the same. They say that it should fire, but it wouldn't run the transmission. But we don't have an automatic in there anyway. It may not run super great, but we have to hear some fire. So we are hoping like crazy that we're actually going to be able to fire this girl right now. Even just a snap, crackle, and a pop will be good. The guy that's doing the computer for us did not finish it. I'm hoping to get it now Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, so this is unscripted. We had an issue with a couple of fuses popping. We're not sure why, but they don't seem to be doing it now. We've checked the wiring harness backwards and forwards.
Well, we went with what was safe, and we, instead of the computer running a fuel pump relay, we just went ahead and wired it like we normally do.
Right. So this is 100% the first attempt ever. If it fails, you will see the fail, and you will hear massive crying, weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth going on. So Tommy's going to do his traditional obsessive-compulsive rundown of the checklist to verify that he has accomplished everything before we start it. So here goes the checklist.
Okay. So the fuel system was fresh today, so we know we're all tight. Feed's tight, returns tight. Still got to do the clamp, but that's okay. Fuel system's all done. We have oil. I primed that girl enough to where there was oil actually running out of the side of the block. Sorry. So we should be good there. We're up on oil. We have power steering fluid. All the wires are connected. We have a belt. Make sure we have.
We do not have coolant nor the radiator hoses on yet, but that doesn't matter because we are only going to fire it for maybe 10 seconds, and there's no way in the world you could probably run it for over a minute and it wouldn't ever cause any problems. So, but we got to try and hear it fire.
All the electronics are plugged in, less 2 O2 sensors, but you know, she should be fine there. So let's key it up, make sure we're not leaking fuel at all.
So we will check our injectors for us. So it has a return line on it, so the pump will continue to pump, but it did. We could hear the fuel pump pick up fuel. We could hear the pressure, the sound of the motor reduce, which means that there is resistance against it. we're going to give this girl a try. We don't find any leaks. We don't like leaks. They tend to burn things up. Do we have anything coming on the ground other than the massive pool of oil that you put there the other day on accident? Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. All right, it's official. Give it another shot, but it should have fired. So to let you guys know, one of our concerns was we had a 30 amp fuse pop, and we're not sure why it did, and we're afraid that it maybe fried the computer. The problem with that is that's about a $500 or $600 mistake, and we don't even know what we did wrong. Because if it burned the computer up, I got to get a new computer and then flash it for a 6 liter for another project we're doing. So we don't know what's going on right now, but I can tell you the weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth will start in just a few seconds. We're not sure what's going on, but trust me, that 2-week time frame that's now down to about a week and 3 days is really starting to look ugly. Now comes the diagnosis. We're checking for power at the coils. Yep. We will check for fuel pressure. We have a pressure gauge.
Phone in here. Watch your eyeballs at home. Yep.
That's the redneck way of doing it.
Something comes out of the hole.
So we have power to the coils. We have fuel pressure. That's bad, because that starts getting down to the thing that controls the spark, and that is that girl right there, which is a computer. Well, on that note, we're going to sign off, so we'll give you a little goodbye here. Make us cry all weekend long. Happy 4th of July. Oh my God. I thought we were going to have such a good video for you guys. Yeah. Check it out. We're going to start it. Will it start? Nope. It won't start. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to get our computer flashed hopefully Tuesday, and we will try and give this girl a fire at that point, and we hope we don't burn up another computer. We're not 100% sure we burned the computer, but there's a pretty darn good chance we did. So
yeah, something went awry.
I'm going to try and find somebody who has a truck that I can take this computer over to and just flop it in and see if it'll start, but that may not happen.
Well, before we put the other computer in it, maybe I'll spend some time and just probe our powers and make sure something didn't go to ground inside of somewhere, or the harness somewhere. The harness was supposedly a completely new unit. But
brand new harness. Yeah, there shouldn't be an issue there, but yeah, we've had issues with new stuff before. So anyway, we're glad you guys came by anyway. Sorry that we couldn't get it started. Real deal, unscripted, like I said before. And we want you guys to have a wonderful 4th of July. Be careful, be safe, and tune in on Wednesday for our Wild Car Wednesday. That'll be about these things all over again. And maybe it'll be wild enough that, no, on Wild Car Wednesday, Tommy won't be back yet. So we're not going to start it, but we might start it on Friday. Well, maybe we'll start it on Wednesday. Show up and find out. Anyway, you guys have a safe weekend. And like usual, thanks for watching.